Hi guys. I thought I'd show you what I'm working on and where I'm at on the kind of give you an update on the Admiral. This is the IF sub chassis. I've started replacing some of the resistors. I've restuffed this cap with a new electrolytic in here. This resistor's been replaced. There's one down in there, it's been replaced. There's two over here, it's been replaced. We've got a lot more to replace. All the cathode resistors over here is going to have to be replaced. Of course, I've got this cap and this cap yet to do. But there's where I'm at. In a later video, I think I will go through this once I get done and everything, and go with the schematic and show you how to, follow the schematic from the input here and all the way through, how the signal goes through and stuff, and how to find it on the schematic, each component and each part. Got the focus rheostat back together and it works. Basically what I did was got me a piece of circuit board tracing and stuck down in there between the winding and the outside case. Wedged it in and it's working just fine. The two electrolytics cans have been restuffed. They just need now to, I gotta polish them up. The grounds come up through here, and once it's in, once they're put back in, I'll take the grounds and run through one of these holes and solder them in place, and then reconnect all the wires. Again, like I said, I just now just need to polish the cans up and get them cleaned up. I didn't want to do that before I was done with them, because you just get fingerprints over them and you have to repolish them. At this point, we've got the tuner back together. I ended up pretty well replacing it. Well, replaced every resistor in it. Turned out that when I started getting real serious about checking them, there was only one that was actually still in tolerance, barely, and it was real deep down. So I thought, well, I'm replacing all the rest of them. They're going to be out. I might as well go ahead and replace it. So I've got every resistor in it replaced. A lot of them were way out of tolerance, and got it all back together, and she works good. Fine tuning, got it all lubed up, so it'll be ready. Kind of did a little cleaning on the top, and it'll be ready to go back in the chassis. Chassis is coming along. I still got a lot more cleaning to do on it, and I'll probably going to go ahead and start recapping. And I've been doing some spot checking with some resistors. Some are alright, others are not. On this tuner, to get some of these resistors, now some of these here are not too bad, but some are way up underneath. Some of these are not too bad, and some of these are way underneath this and just almost impossible to get to. So what I ended up doing, I got another tuner here. Basically this fits in here like this, and you have to unsolder it. There's two screws, one on each end, and a couple 3 solder spots. I unsoldered it, of course, disconnect all your leads, and then I pulled it out on this one, and that makes it a lot easier to get to all the resistors. Like these two guys down here in the very bottom down here, they're with that in there, they're just darn near almost impossible to get to. Now this little guy right here, I don't know if you can see him, He was kind of fun. Right about here. He goes way down behind. There's a coil here, and he goes way down behind there. He actually comes out right here and connects on. So what I ended up doing was taking a piece of wire, real thin wire, running through there, and then soldering onto the new resistor, and then fishing it back through. And then unsolder it and wrap the resistor on. And that allowed me to get that one in. And then of course, like I said, these up here is not too bad, but these guys down here, when that other piece is in place, these guys down here, when the other piece is in place, are very difficult to get to. But it's not hard to take this off. I mean, as long as you got a good soldering iron, like one I showed before, to get these out. Again, you take out the 2 screws and then you just unsolder it and take it off and put it back on. Now this one here is real easy in the fact that once you got it back in place, these screws are just straight holes. This one's a little different. It's got the elongated pads here, spring loaded, where this has got a little round pads. So this one actually has an adjustment. You can see the slotted screws, so that when it's in place, kind of like this, so I get it in there. If it's in place, you have to take a particular measurement and adjust this so it's just right. There's a in the book there's a measurement that you measure between this and the drum, and then you adjust it and then resolder it in place. Let's see. On the audio output transformer, the one I'm going to use, since the other one was bad, I ended up deciding to go ahead and put the outer case on it, so the bolt holes lined up. It had this one on there, and they were a little bit wide. I could have drilled it out, but this was just as easy, so I just took that one off, took this one off the other transformer, which had the bad primary in it, and put it on here, and now it'll bolt back down into the chassis real nicely. And then let's again, like I said, here's the chassis. I haven't done much other than doing some checking and testing and different resistors. I've got a few things yet to do, more to test and stuff, but some of the resistors are, out of tolerance. A lot of them are just fine. The can ohm down here at the bottom, along here, this guy right along here, he's in good shape. He measures exactly what he's supposed to, so which made me happy. I checked the other coils in here and they're fine. I said I've been doing a little bit of cleaning as best I can. This chassis got a lot of discoloration to it, and I still got to work on cleaning a little more of the rust on it and stuff. If I can find some paint that is copper, then I'll paint it. Otherwise, I'm not sure what I'm going to do at this point. The biggest problem is if I use something that is totally different, I've got several, there's several pieces that go onto that chassis that, such as this part back here. This goes around. This is your high voltage cage. It's copper. The IF shield is copper, and the brackets that held the picture tube, they're copper plated. So if you would paint this, you think you got something that's close, but it's, when you actually spray it, it's not. It would probably look a little different. You either end up having to spray paint everything. So I haven't decided what I'm going to do on that yet. I may just leave it the way it is, do something to, low WD-40 or something to protect the rusted areas, and just leave it the way it is. I mean, once everything's on here, you got the tower for the yoke and stuff sitting on here. There's a shield that goes in here. You got that high voltage cage sitting here. Of course, the IF and the tuner are not copper plated, so they're sitting in here. And then you got the other tubes and the big picture tube sitting in. Once everything's on it, it probably really will not be all that noticeable. At least a lot of the stuff up front will not be. So I haven't decided yet exactly what to do about it. But anyway, that's where we're at. Can be rather time consuming, but I knew this would take a little time. There could be possibly a lot of parts to replace, and there was, the resistors, every one of them in that tuner. That was several resistors. The IF, I think only about 4 or 5 of them are probably alright. The rest of them need to replace. This one needs to be replaced. This one needs to be replaced. That one needs to be replaced. All 3 tubes here, their cathode resistors need to be replaced. They're sitting down here. This one here, I already replaced the cathode resistor. I think there's a 1K here and a 1K here that need to be replaced. So, it takes a little time, but we're gaining. And like I said, excuse me, when I get done with this, I'll show it again, and then I'll go through the schematic, like I said, and show you how you can locate, from the schematic, all the parts and stuff, where everything is and everything, and be able to follow this in comparison to the schematic. Right here, I kind of blew it up a little bit, and be able to know where everything is and be able to pick it out and find it. That's one point that you always want to do, no matter whether it's a TV, piece of test equipment, audio amplifier, radio, whatever it is. The very first thing that you always want to do is, before you do any work to it, to whatever it is familiarize yourself with the schematic. Get the schematic and really study it and compare it to what you got, for one thing, if nothing else, to make sure you got the right one for sure, and as well as getting yourself familiarized with the circuit, with what you're working on. And it makes it a lot easier when you're trying to, you're working on these and restoring them and checking parts and replacing parts and your wire routing and everything else, and where everything hooks up, because everything's not always as neat as it is on the schematic. This contrast control right here, for instance, it appears like, wow, it's just hooked right to the cathode of the 6AU6 and video amp. Well, that's the video amp tube right there, right here. That wire there is what goes to that control. So it draped around from over in here and around to the front of the radio. So it went like from here all the way around. So it's not always what it appears on the schematic. So anyway, we'll do that in the next video. And also, well, basically where I'll be at will be finishing up that IF or having it done. So that's where I'm at, and I think I'll end this video here, and I think I'll get me a bite to eat. It's getting about supper time. So I've uploaded one video which was answer to one of the commenters I had on there. A couple questions his. The second video is uploading as I'm recording this right now. It's got about 27 minutes remaining, and it's on impedance matching, kind of a follow-up from the other video I did on impedance. It's mainly just geared towards transformers, and mainly audio output transformer. That's usually where most people want to know anything about anyway. And then I'll be uploading this video here, so you guys will get a nice little treat with 3 videos back to back. So anyway, until the next video, I want to thank you for watching and your comments, and if you have any questions, just pose them. And any thoughts about should I paint the chassis or not? That'd be interesting. So give me your thoughts. And so guess I'll see you guys on the next video, and you have a good evening and a good night. So thanks again for watching.